We started our adventure in Guatemala City, arriving late at night in the pouring rain. After dropping our bags, we headed to a kids camp hosted by AMG, where we sat around the fire and sang hymns. The next morning, we heard how Ruben's last trip to Guatemala changed his life. After enjoying the fragrance of freshly grilled meat, we visited a school ran by Pastor Victor. We gathered some supplies for a few food hampers and headed into the local community where we visited an elderly woman who could no longer walk. We prayed for her healing and hoped that the food would be a blessing to her and her family. Later, we arrived at the AMG compound. We got a tour of the school, checked in on the digital education program ran by Westbow, witnessed students learning more about the Bible, and watched the kids dance in the courtyard.
Hola, yo me llamo Josué y a mí me gusta jugar pelota y gracias por ser mi madrina. Gracias.
The next day, we walked through a village called Tikva, witnessing the deep poverty the people face. Just a few years ago, a volcano destroyed the area, burning everything in its path. Many communities were forced to flee the ash and sulfur, with chunks of obsidian falling from the sky. As a result, people had to relocate, leading to increased pollution in the surrounding areas. We delivered another food hamper to a child suffering from meningitis and witnessed the joy on their face. We stopped for lunch in Antigua with an incredible view of the Agua volcano. After eating, we wandered into the streets and explored a massive souvenir shop filled with colorful bracelets, paintings, and necklaces. We ended the day with some amazing tacos, a perfect time to reflect on our last night in Guatemala. We arrived early morning in Costa Rica and hit the road towards one of our many destinations, La Paz, a stunning waterfall. After snapping some pictures and walking behind the falls, we took one last look and continued on our journey. We made a short pit stop for a great view of the Arenal volcano. The drive gave us incredible scenery all the way up to our next stop. In Monte Verde, we walked through a cloud forest spotting toucans, macaws, exotic plants, and insects. With a light drizzle coming down and beams of light filtering through, we headed to our first zip line. We had a blast cruising through the treetops. After a few shorter lines and a leap of faith, we faced the longest zip line in Central America, just over a kilometer long. In our first day in Nicaragua, we met with Ken Forbes, made a game plan, and grabbed lunch, waiting for the winds to pick up. It was time for volcano surfing. We carried our sleds up the mountain as the winds tried to snatch them away, stopping a few times to catch our breath. Once we got to the ridge, we saw the steam rising and felt the wind racing between our arms. We geared up, put on our goggles, and headed down, rocks and ash cascading down with us. At the bottom, we looked back to where we started, brushed ourselves off, and met at the Land Cruiser waiting for us. After that, we made our way to a tropical villa right on the beach. Nicaragua is teeming with wildlife, from iguanas to parakeets to peacocks. We visited a fishing community and went out on one of their boats. Despite all of our efforts, we only got one bite. Once we were back on the beach, we grabbed fresh coconuts, lounged in hammocks, and swam in the ocean as the sun dipped below the horizon. The next day we visited a clinic where children receive supplements to help improve their diets. The village struggles with a lack of fish, so we brought some food hampers to families in need. Fishermen work all day and often return with only 1 or 2 fish to feed their families. Then headed to the local church to help prepare a nourishing meal for the community. While we waited, we visited a father who had been hit by a truck and fractured his leg just a month ago. Once the food was ready and the word got out, we prayed over the meal and everyone received a generous plate of food. After cleanup, we visited the local garbage dump, where people sift through trash all day to find anything they can sell. With toxic sludge running through the area, many children suffer from illnesses, so we brought food to the dump community as well. Seeing the appreciation on their faces and the conditions they live in remind me how truly blessed I am.